All right, y'all. The breakdown of the book of Revelations, chapter 18. I cannot believe we've made it this far. Okay, so what does Revelation 18 mean? The prior chapter used Babylon as a reference to a religious or spiritual corruption. This religious Babylon was tolerated and manipulated by the leaders of the world for a time before then destroyed. Revelation 17. In John's vision, the leaders of the world seem unfazed by the destruction of this spiritual Babylon. This fall was most likely completed by midpoint of the tribulation when the Antichrist and the false prophet fully engage in blasphemy and idolatry. Revelation 13. In chapter 18, John's vision shifts to describe the fall of a slightly different Babylon. In this context, Babylon is a political and economic entity. It is probably also a literal city, perhaps not with that exact name during the end times. It's common for a capital city to stand in as a reference to a culture or a government or even a religion. Babylon is, Babylon in this chapter occupies a place somewhere in that range of meanings. The fall described are most likely to occur near the end of the tribulation, probably as a result of the horrific bowl judgments described in chapter 16. An angel proclaims the destruction of Babylon, specifically making mention of her pervasive wickedness, as in the other scriptures, sexual immorality seems to have a double meaning here. The Bible often uses sexual sin as a metaphor for idolatry and other forms of false religion. The city, the city nation of Babylon in the end times is not only a hub of commerce and powers, but of sin and sensuality as well. Revelation 18, 1 to 3. John hears another voice warning my people to flee the city. This parallels the Old Testament warning Lot to evacuate Sodom in advance of God's judgment. Genesis 19, 12 through 13. Not only does God want his people to avoid being caught up in the sins of Babylon, he warns them that tangible judgment is coming and they need to flee. The sins of Babylon are enormous, and her judgment from God